Her mother's apartment was on the 4th floor of a building that had been old when Sirakarn was born and had since graduated into a different category. Not old anymore, just permanent, the way certain things in Bangkok became permanent through sheer refusal to be otherwise. The elevator had not worked since 2019. The stairwells smelled of incense from the shrine on the 2nd-floor landing, a smell so embedded in the concrete by now that repainting would not have touched it. Sirakarn came on Sundays. Not every Sunday. Enough Sundays that skipping one required a reason. She brought fruit from the market on Siloam, whatever was good that week, wrapped in the thin plastic bag the vendor folded with the origami efficiency of someone who had done it 40,000 times. Today, it was long kong. Her mother liked long kong. This was one of the uncomplicated facts of their relationship, and Sirakarn held on to the uncomplicated facts the way she held on to clinical certainties. Because the complicated ones required more energy than a Sunday morning reliably provided. Her mother, Wanpen, opened the door before Sirakarn knocked. She had always done this, a spatial awareness of the building's acoustics, the particular sequence of sounds that announced her daughter's arrival from 2 floors down. She was 61. She looked like a compressed version of her own youth, the same features but drawn closer together, tightened by decades of careful management of things that might otherwise overflow. "You look tired," her mother said. "I worked late Friday." "You always work late Friday." This was their greeting. It had been their greeting for approximately 7 years. Sirakarn handed over the long kong. Her mother received it and turned back into the apartment without further comment, which was the signal to follow. The apartment was small and precise. Everything in it had a location and returned to that location. Her mother was a woman who found comfort in the maintenance of exact positions, and Sirakarn recognized this as a trait she had inherited so completely that she had never noticed it until Arthit pointed it out in their 3rd year together. You always put your keys in the same corner of your bag. You've never once put them in the wrong pocket. I've been watching. She sat at the kitchen table. Her mother put the kettle on. Outside, Yaowarat was conducting its Sunday operations, a lower frequency than the weekday version, but no quieter, just slower, more deliberate. The gold shop 2 buildings over had its accordion gate half open. A truck was making a delivery somewhere below, the driver calling instructions to someone Sirakarn couldn't see. Her mother set 2 cups down and sat across from her. "There's a box," her mother said. Sirakarn looked up. "Your grandmother's. The last of it." She curled both hands around her cup. "I've been meaning to give it to you for a while. I kept putting it away and then finding it again." "You could have given it to me any time." "Yes," her mother said this as if it settled something. "I'll get it after tea." They drank tea. They covered the standard ground, Arthit's work, Sirakarn's clinic caseload, the building's water pressure, a cousin's child's school examination results. The conversation had the quality of a document that 2 people reviewed together regularly without ever revising. Sirakarn did not find this depressing. It was simply the form their relationship had settled into, the shape of 2 people who were too similar to be close and too connected to be distant. Her mother brought the box from the bedroom and set it on the table between them. It was a lacquered box, dark red with a faded pattern of chrysanthemums on the lid, approximately the size of a shoebox. There was a small brass latch with a keyhole. The key was taped to the lid in a strip of yellowed tape. "She kept it locked?" Sirakarn said. "Always, as long as I can remember." Her mother sat down again. She did not reach toward the box. "After she died, I thought there would be money in it. Documents, something practical." She paused. "There wasn't." Sirakarn opened the latch. The lid lifted with the particular resistance of something that had been closed for a long time. Not stuck, just settled.
Inside, a cloth-bound ledger, small, the cloth of faded blue-grey that might once have been a cleaner colour, a photograph face down. 2 items she recognised as votive objects, a folded red paper and a small ceramic disc with a character inscribed that she could not read. And at the bottom, a dried jasmine flower, So old it had gone the color of old paper and released no smell at all.
She lifted the ledger out first. The cover had no title, no label. She opened it to the first page. The handwriting was small and densely packed, covering the page with the urgency of someone who had a great deal to say and a limited and specific anxiety about running out of space. The characters were Chinese. She could identify that much. She had enough Mandarin to recognize the general shape of Chinese script. But Mandarin characters and Teochew were not the same system, and these had a quality to them she couldn't immediately place. The personal record sections in old-form Teochew script and certain pages that shift into the sealed marks. She turned several pages, the same dense handwriting throughout. Occasional dates in the margin, not years she recognized as significant, just reference points. 1953 appeared twice on the first dozen pages. 1961, 1974. Her mother was watching her.
"Can you read it?"
Sirakarn asked. "No, I tried when she first came to live with us. I was maybe 14. She caught me with it and took it back." Her mother looked at the box rather than the ledger. She wasn't angry. That was the strange thing. She just looked at me and said, "It's not finished," and locked it again. "It's not finished." Sirakarn turned to the last written page. The handwriting here was different, slower, less dense, the characters slightly larger and less certain. A hand that had changed. The final entry was dated. She could read the numbers. A date approximately 6 years before Ma Bo-leng died. Below the final line of text, the rest of the page was blank. She closed the ledger, then she turned over the photograph. Ma Bo-leng, young, early 20s at most, which placed it sometime around her arrival in Bangkok. She was standing in front of a shop front on a street Sirakarn did not recognize, though the architecture was unmistakably Yaowarat. She was not smiling. She was looking at the camera with the expression of someone who understood that the record was being made and was deciding how much of herself to give it. She was wearing a piak bracelet on her left wrist, the same filigree pattern, the same thin band. Sirakarn touched her own wrist. She put the photograph face up in the box and replaced the ledger on top of it. She closed the lid and latched it. "I'll take it," she said. Her mother nodded as if this had been decided some time ago. On the way home, the box on the seat beside her in the taxi, Sirakarn watched the city shift from Yaowarat's layered density to the broader channels of Siloam. The driver had the radio on, a talk program, with someone explaining something at length in the patient tone on behalf of a person who had previously said exactly the same thing. She did not listen to the words. She listened to the rhythm of the explanation. The way certain sentences in certain voices carry a structure that functions independently of their content. She was a speech therapist. She listened to the architecture of language the way other people listened to melody. That night she opened the ledger once more at the kitchen table, while Arthit watched something on his laptop in the next room. She sat with it for 20 minutes. She could not read it. She was certain it was Teochew. The character forms, the regional stroke patterns she had looked up on her phone during the taxi ride home. A dialect she had no access to. Her grandmother's first language, the language of a coast and a famine and a crossing she had never described to anyone. She closed it. Set it on the corner of the desk in the study where she kept client files. Went to bed. She dreamed in a language she did not speak. She knew this while it was happening. The specific doubled awareness of a certain kind of dream, where you observe and participate simultaneously. The language moved through her like water through a known channel. In the dream, it was completely natural. In the dream, she had always spoken this way. She woke at 4:43. The dream was already gone. What remained was the feeling of it, the sense of having read a very long letter in full, completely, and retaining not a single word. Only the weight of what had been said, the particular quality of attention required to receive it. She lay in the dark and listened to Arthit's breathing and the distant early morning sounds of the city beginning to assemble itself. She did not think about the ledger. She thought about the dream until the feeling faded, And then she got up and made coffee and sat at the kitchen table in the dark until the sky started to change color above the building line. And then she got dressed and went to work.